I recently finished The Lord of the Rings, which Tolkien intended as a single work, and I've also completed my collection of the history of Middle-earth. After one of my recent videos, Madeline Reads 4 asked an excellent question. When should I read the Silmarillion? And that question points to something bigger. Where should you actually start with Tolkien? Because surprisingly, many readers begin in the wrong place, and it quietly diminishes their first experience of Middle-earth. And before this video ends, I'm going to tell you the single starting point I recommend to almost everyone. Greetings, legendary readers. Welcome to Larry's Legendary Library, where we explore science fiction, fantasy, and the deeper wonder within them. So, where should you start with Tolkien? On one hand, there is no wrong place to begin. The most important thing is to begin. But there is a path that many readers find more rewarding. My own path began with The Lord of the Rings. Next, I'll be reading The Hobbit, returning to the beginning of the journey. And then I plan to step into the history of Middle-earth, but not blindly, with a plan. The History of Middle-earth is a 12-volume scholarly reconstruction of how J.R.R. Tolkien gradually built his legendarium, edited and presented by his son, Christopher Tolkien. Think of it less as a traditional narrative and more like watching a cathedral being designed and raised stone by stone. Inside these volumes, you'll find early versions of the Silmarillion, abandoned plot lines, alternate cosmologies, linguistic evolution, characters who changed identity, even profound philosophical shifts. It is one of the most remarkable works of literary archaeology ever published. There is truly nothing else like it in fantasy. So should it be read in order? Technically, yes. Practically, not necessarily. The series becomes increasingly academic as it progresses, so many readers benefit from approaching it with intention rather than strict chronology. My editions of the History of Middle-earth contains 15 volumes, including the Silmarillion and Unfinished Tales, whereas the original History of Middle-earth spans 12 volumes. So rather than referencing volume numbers, I'll refer to the books by name in order to avoid confusion. So I plan to begin the History of Middle-earth with Morgoth's Ring. Morgoth's Ring explains and explores the metaphysics of evil, the nature of Morgoth, elvish immortality, and Tolkien's theological framework. From there, the Lost Tales 1 and 2, which contain early mythic material that is surprisingly readable. The Lays of Beleriand is magnificent epic poetry, though best suited for readers who enjoy verse. And of course, the Silmarillion. For serious fans, if you're interested in going deeper into Middle-earth, then volumes such as The Return of the Shadow, The Treason of Isengard, The War of the Ring, and Sauron Defeated reveal the extraordinary evolution of the Lord of the Rings. Watching Tolkien refine that masterpiece, I suspect, is a fascinating experience. So, after reading Tolkien and studying his work, and now owning the history of Middle-earth, here is the starting point that I recommend to almost everyone. Begin with The Hobbit. Tolkien teaches you how to read Middle-earth before asking you to bear its full weight. Start with The Hobbit and then read The Lord of the Rings, the 3 books. And then, if you're ready for the deeper waters of Middle-earth, step into the history of Middle-earth. You may follow publication order or simply pursue the threads that intrigue you most. If you've read Tolkien, I'd love to hear from you. What order did you follow, and would you recommend that reading order? Let me know in the comments. I always love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay legendary.